like to support the channel. Also, you can do it by way of Patreon, Anchor, the clothing store, and also the shoe shop that is listed in the comment description below. And again, thank you to any and all of you guys who have been here to support this channel during the 2+ year period. I wouldn't be able to do what I do every single day without you.
Tell me. I'm over here guessing. Tell me. Yeah. What the hell is this? All that work today. Jesus, help me. Oh my God.
I'm just gonna be honest. Let me just go from life experience, right? When I was a teenager, my mom specifically told me, "You better not be out here reckless. You better not go out here and create any type of kids because I am not taking care of them at all." My mom wanted to make sure that I actually had a life. She wanted to make sure that I wasn't out here being reckless, right? And she didn't want the life that a lot of other young guys during that time, in a sense, had. And I made sure to stick directly to what it is that she stated. But as I've learned over the years, especially when I was in high school, they had television shows that, in a sense, advocated for young girls to be pregnant at a very young age. Like I said, I don't know if people actually caught up to that. I'm not sure if adults during that time really caught up to that. But you literally had a television show where these young teenage girls were pregnant and it was celebrated. They were made into celebrities. You had young girls during that time making pregnancy pacts, stating that if one got pregnant, everybody was going to try to get pregnant at the same time. It was a crazy time at that moment in time. But again, you're dealing with psychological warfare. So now you're watching a young girl who is 16 who decided, because of the era that we're in, dealing with social media, that she wants to film the reaction of her mother. I'm guessing that she thought that her mother was going to be ecstatic. It was going to be a celebratory thing. And her mother was crying. She was just looking, going through the box. And I'm pretty sure the mom was all over the place. I'm pretty sure. I can't directly tell you how the mom is feeling, because again, for women, I guess this is, a bit of a different thing when it deals with, their daughters. Now, again, I don't know directly, but I'm just going to state my opinion. The reaction, in a sense, for me, looked as though it was a mother that was confused. It was, okay, this is about to happen. Well, I'm going to be a grandmother, and it's like, wow, where did I go wrong? How was this a thing? Where did this all, come from? Um, a lot of parents are not going to celebrate this. And I wish it would get to the point where it would be well known that parents are not going to celebrate this, because again, if you are a parent, you do not want your child to struggle, right? Any teenager at 16 deciding to have a child, and I do mean deciding, because if they decided to have any type of relations together, they also decided to have a child. Kids are not stupid. I need people to go back, reassess, think about when they were a teenager, think about how you deliberately defied your parents, go back and think about how you deliberately went out to parties that you weren't supposed to be at, how it is that you were dating people that you weren't supposed to be dating, right? And again, people will willfully defy, people will willfully engage into activities that they know that they shouldn't be doing, that they know that they were taught better than to do. And this young girl did that. She did that 100%. There's no guessing directly about it, because if we go back to the exact same circumstances that people always state, what do people state? Oh, well, girls and women mature faster than boys. Girls and women, they mature light years, galaxies, universes ahead of boys and men. So nobody's going to tell me that it was an oops and that she just didn't know, right? Realistically, this is a failure as a parent. There's no other way to sit up there and put it. There's no other way to, in a sense, sugarcoat it. Any parent that is worth their salt, that loves their child, that wants the best for them, does not want their child to roll up to them talking about they're going to have a child, that they're going to be a grandmother, that they're going to be a grandfather. No parent wants to hear that, especially from somebody who is 16. If the person is in, like, maybe let's say like their 20s, like they got a little bit of something established, they're out there living on their own, they're able to take care of themselves, right? Sure, no problem. You're not going to have an issue with that. But when you're dealing with somebody that's living under your roof in your household that you're still feeding and taking care of, you're like, where did I go wrong? How is it possible that after all the things that I taught them, all the examples that I gave them, that this is what they still opted to do? Where did I go wrong? Like I said, we need to stop celebrating this type of madness. Again, I'm just going to repeat myself like a broken record. This is not a celebratory matter. For anybody that feels different directly about it, go take it up with God or whoever. Because again, at the end of the day, these kids are not going to take care of those kids. You got kids taking care of kids. How does that make sense? It doesn't, which means that the parent is going to be taking care of the greater majority of the responsibility. Like I said, society has failed. I'm just going to be real. A lot of parents have failed. Society in general has failed. There's, as I've stated, psychological warfare that is taking place. And I've noticed that since I was younger, the messages that were being pushed, the messages that were being given, certain messages weren't as obvious. Certain messages weren't as consistent, but now I can fully see everything because they've made a full-fledged push into what it is that they want to indoctrinate and place a lot of the kids. And for whatever reason, parents are just not following. They're not understanding. They're not paying attention. Parents are not being parents. Parents are not protecting their kids from the onslaught of material, of information that's being disseminated, by way of social media, by way of the movies, by way of television shows, and so on and so on and so on. So, hopefully, as what was previous, we don't have a repeat of history. That's the best that I got. That's the best that I got because, like I said before, we're living in a whole different time. The options that these young girls would or used to be able to have at one point in time, they don't got those no more. So whatever mistake that you make, you got to deal with that mistake. And so do the parents. So, again, like I said, if you're mad about me, if you got an issue with what it is that I'm saying, take it up with God. or take it up with your failures as a parent. Take it up with your lack of protection for your child as a parent.